Soul and Stars. My name is Brandon Tobias. It's great to have you here. If you're new, what we do is we do weekly collective updates for your highest good in love and in life. And basically we channel updates in love in order to help you to understand what's going on to reach your greatest soul purpose in this lifetime. So welcome. If you want those continued weekly and monthly updates on this channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. And if you do end up enjoying this content or find it valuable, do me a quick favor and hit that like button. Helps this video and channel grow, so of course we can find and guide more people. Now, what this video is today that I've got for you guys, very special video. It's a live stream that I did tonight, a little bit ago on TikTok. And so what you're going to see, it's going to cut in a second here to the middle of the live stream just before I start the reading. The reason I'm posting it is because I feel like there was some really great details that was channeled that Spirit provided me to be able to speak out about the updates and updates in regards to what was read on Sunday in accordance to what's going on now that might answer some questions or just give a quick update on the energies that was spoken about both in love and in life for the highest good of this collective and you watching as well. So I hope you enjoy. And without further ado, you might have to endure again some questions that I'm answering or things like that. I actually included some parts of it just to give some other additional content for you guys, but I will put in the description box below where the actual reading starts, so you guys can skip to that if you want. But please enjoy the video. Thank you so much, and be sure to leave a comment below with your thoughts, and if it resonated with you or if it didn't resonate with you, I always love hearing your feedback either way. So thank you so much again, and I'll see you in just a second. Bye for now. What do you guys say we get into the reading here itself? Hopefully some more people hop on. I think more people hop on once they see I'm doing readings here. Sweetgrass too, I love that. That's awesome. So my intention for tonight, really, I feel like maybe most of you guys have seen or watched the Sunday live stream on YouTube and TikTok. Obviously there was some pretty drastic and intense messages that came through. And those are the messages really we've been left with, at least me personally, to work through and to deal with and to, make big decisions in my life about my direction and who and what I'm choosing to leave behind and to move forward and pursue in a whole new way. And it's a little scary, it's a little uncertain, but it feels really good and it feels really exciting, But it's also left a lot of questions up in the air, right? Of like, what is the bigger picture? Like, why is this having to happen? What really is going on? What is the truth behind, the situation with a former twin flame or a current twin flame that's you're separated from, or that even someone you were in a soul connection with that could be a twin flame, but you're not sure, but someone who had a very powerful karmic story or karmic effect on you. Okay, so the questions are, what is going on with that? Why? And what is the real truth behind that? And my goal today here on TikTok would be to get some clarity around that, and to just kind of, I think it feels like finish up any loose ends around what's going on there. Okay. I'm wearing labradorite around my neck. Labradorite. It's become one of my favorite stones in the last 6 months, 3 months, I would say, 3 to 6 months, however long I've had it. It's the stone of magic power, and I greatly resonate with the archetype of the magician. It's one of my favorite archetypes. Okay. Kosis19 says, please do a reading for me. I feel like I don't deserve to be loved. Will I be loved? Oh my gosh. I don't need to do a reading to tell you that you are tremendously loved already, but you got to find that love for yourself inside. But you already are loved. You just got to find it and remember that and discover that, really. That's the trick. People can say, oh, you are so loved and you are cherished and all these things, but unless we actually feel that within our own selves, we'll never ever find it. We'll spend an entire lifetime searching for that and continuing not to believe the people who tell us we're loved. We're like, what are you talking about? You say I'm loved. I'm not loved. Who loves me? But it starts from within, and it starts from yourself. And that's why oftentimes if you don't feel like you're loved, or you don't feel like you are going to be loved, right? The universe is putting people, places, and situations in your life to emphasize that point, or to prove that belief, or to prove that point to you, so you can heal it and you can discover the fact that you are so incredibly loved. So especially if you've been through these traumatic situations where you felt betrayed, where you felt that someone has not loved you or left you behind or totally disregarded you or just basically abandoned you, it's because the universe wanted you to say, hey, regardless of what happens outside, you have to know you are always extremely unconditionally loved. Extremely is a weird word, but extremely unconditionally loved inside, always, right? You are love. There is no such thing as not being loved, but it's the discovery of that truth that will help you find your way. So I hope that helps give you some guidance. And one little exercise to do with that, okay, if you're still listening, is basically go by yourself as best you can. Take yourself on a retreat if you can. Take yourself into isolation. Take yourself into the woods. Go get in contact with the earth. And I want you to ask the earth itself if you are loved by the earth. And then I want you to ask the stars as you're laying on the earth. Ask the stars and ask God and ask Source and ask the universe if you are loved by him and Gaia, her. And then once you realize that both sources love you, because there's no other truth other than the fact that they love you dearly, I want you to ask yourself if you love yourself. And if that answer is anything but unconditionally yes, then you have to find out why you don't love yourself, okay? Where that comes from. And that will likely come up through that exploration. Okay. I love it. Maddie Talk says, date yourself. Take yourself on the dates you wish someone would take you on. I love that. What an amazing, amazing thing to say, specifically at this time, Maddie Talks. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. That is absolutely 100% the best thing you can do at this particular time energetically, because it really is about solo exploration right now. This doesn't go for everyone. There's some people who are in partnerships, but lots of us, especially those of us getting out of, traumatic or intense relationships with people where there's been a lot of karmic lessons in business to go through, are really going deep in on what it means to love ourselves and how to do that. And that's why I'm supplying these instructions for everyone. Is like, there are ways to do it and there are ways to go about it, right? One of the best ways, one of the coolest ways to do this is to really ask Mother Earth and Father Sky and the elements and your own soul. Those are the sources. If and when you discover that those sources love you, which if you really go deep and you tap in and you allow those energies to flow through you in a very direct way, you'll discover, right? It's nothing but love. And what I found is, if you can find at least one source like that loves you so deeply and unconditionally and so fully, then the rest of it starts to come into place, because it becomes more obvious how and why you don't love yourself. Okay. Melanie, hello. You were on Instagram too. Melanie says, Brandon, I was the chaser and then cut off contact, and he has come back and not ready being a chaser. Yeah, I'm not surprised. There's going to be the energy of tests coming in, of the thing, right, that would test us as to our ability to hold our ground when it comes to love or karmic situations that will and cannot serve us in the best of ways for our sole purpose right now, to be of most service for others, that would serve more of a distraction or taking away from that path than to aid in it. And I'm really seeing and feeling right now, any union or partnership that is trying to force itself to come together is probably not going to be coming together out of unconditional love, because there's a lot of karmic work to be done, especially throughout these retrogrades. So if you guys can spend some time with yourself, or you have the opportunity to do so, right? I would definitely highly recommend it. All right, let's get some cards going. I did get a new deck, by the way. Those of you guys who saw on Instagram. The Rider-Waite, the original Rider-Waite. I'm thrilled with this deck. Obviously, it's not a new deck. It's a new deck for me. Kind of funny that I've never used it up till now. But we're going to do a love reading right now. Love and life reading, but it's probably going to hit on these areas of love, okay? Here we go. Back to Basics deck, Jen. Hello, Jen. Back to Basics deck. I am in love. It's so cool. I can't believe I never got it. Like, I just skipped it. I just went to these other 3 decks. I have a weird tarot journey. All right, let's get into it. Hope you're well, Jen. It's good to see you on here. So those of you guys who would like to know about the astrological energies, what's going on with this lunar eclipse more in depth for the next 6 months, I just posted a kind of a 6-month energetic forecast with the astrology on my Instagram. So if you want to check that out, you can go check out BT Speaks, my Instagram page connected to my bio. And also I give some practical physical tips you guys can do, including like water you can drink and like habits you can instill, intermittent fasting, things like that, to really aid you in the progression or transition of this energy that's coming through. Okay, so check that out. Instagram is BT Speaks. If you haven't connected to or heard of my YouTube channel, Science of the Soul and Stars, definitely go check that out. There will be zodiac readings coming out likely this weekend, I want to say. We'll see. Got some work to do. But I had to get this new deck in, so we'll see. All right. Opening the ceremony now officially. Calling in the spirit guides, loved ones, masters, wise ones, angels, and archangels. Archangel Michael, Archangel Gabriel, Jesus Christ, and Mary Magdalene. Please join us for this official ceremony. Calling in any beings as well from the 4th or 5th dimension, from the power of unconditional love, and from and for those who serve only for unconditional love. We ask for your guidance and service when it comes to this collective and the collective generally. What are the messages we need to hear when it comes to our highest good and healing now and in the future, in love and in life? Thank you so much. Ceremony is now officially open. I want me to arrange my crystals in a certain way. Crystals in use: lapis lazuli, Lumerian quartz. Oh, this is the one, clear quartz. Okay. What I wanted. All right, here we go. What do we got? All right, first card out, 5 of Swords. Right now, okay, there may be an area in your life where you really feel detracted from, you really feel withdrawn from, and potentially offended about. And this may be something that's really coming up tangibly of like, look, this wasn't okay with me. You're realizing the truth behind it is what it feels like with this 5 of Swords, right? It's like you're just realizing like, you know what? Whatever that was not cool. It wasn't okay. And it's something that I really don't want to ever deal with ever again in my life. This 5 of Swords, intense energy, but it's the separator of what's going to allow you to, as you can see, walk away with a sense of justice or peace or exuberance, right? And unfortunately, it's this separation or this kind of these actions that you might be reflecting upon that happened or occurred in your life or even your last relationship that are causing you to say, no more of this. This is not okay for me. It's not something I'm willing to accept. And I want to move away from this into something different. And this is what I mean when it's about walking in a new direction, but why are you walking in a new direction, and what's keeping you walking in a new direction? And it might be making, again, this sacrifice of sorts to walk in this new direction that's going to feel a little iffy and confusing and off and messy. And Spirit is basically saying, look, we know that this is the case. We know that you're being forced to kind of walk away from a situation that doesn't really feel good, or it's not wrapped up in a pretty bow, and we're asking you to do it anyways, you know? And I'll just be honest, I mean, that's kind of how it felt with the, past trying to get back, anything like that, right? Any situation where there's someone who's like just energetically or even physically wanting to interact with you, and just like, I've realized the truth of what this was, and it's not for me anymore. And, that's what coming to me, like Sunday's live was really intense, obviously. And I'm like, why was that so intense, Spirit? Like, there's some very direct messages, and it didn't feel like, it felt messy, right? It felt messy, and it felt unclear, and it felt unclean. And yet I was still being asked to say these things regardless. You know what I mean? So that's the energy. That's the crowning card here that's going on. And then the moon card is on. We're going to do like an ad hoc little spread here. I don't know what kind of diagram it's going to be, but we're just going to be flowing in the moment. So we're going straight down from here. The moon card is up next here. I'm going to draw one more underneath that. We have the Page of Cups. Yeah. So again, there's this energy, the Page of Cups here and the moon card. So is there someone who's maybe trying to kind of give you a small little offer of love, or like some type of a offer or apology, or just like, hey, like some type of recognition or some little type of gift, right? That you're just like, it's not for me anymore. Like, it's not appropriate. It's not okay. It's just like, it's not going to work for me anymore. And with the moon card here, you might feel that this is coming, or this might be a subconscious fear, or it just might be something that deep down inside, is no longer going to be fruitful for you. You know what I mean? And look, even with this moon card, we can see like there are just, it's causing a little bit of havoc, right? It's causing a little bit of chaos and conflict. And I really feel this is like an internal conflict or an internal chaos of things being stirred up. But it's really things being stirred up so that you can be really firm with your decision to move into a different space and move into a different way of being. And chances are, whatever person or situation this is happening with, it's just kind of proving over to you that it's not, again, conducive to who you are now versus who you were before. You know what I mean? All right. Let's see what else we got. So on either side of this up and down spread, okay, we have the Nine of Pentacles, which they want me to talk about first, and then the Three of Wands here. Yeah, so here's the thing, is that there is a whole new journey that it feels like we're about to embark on. And this Three of Wands, right, it's like we have a solid direction, a solid new commitment, a solid new like horizon that we are just about to embark on, okay? And Nine of Pentacles just feels like it's gonna be a slower, more steady progression, okay? But it's really, the biggest thing about this is they're showing me it's like this steady, slow moving, but practical and dedicated commitment to a path that is the thing that is able to keep your energy aligned in a way that's fruitful for you, okay? So it's almost like this thing that you have in your life, this more practical journey or horizon that you're about to go on, or you've committed to already, or you see yourself progressing down. It's like you don't want anything to mess that up. You don't want anything to take away from that. You don't want anything or anyone in your life that's going to distract from you making progress in that direction. Whatever this horizon is, or this new destination is that you're about to embark on, it's very, very, very important. And Knight of Pentacles says, yes, it's going to be a slow and steady journey, okay, like more like an uphill kind of progression here, but it's going to be very, very worthwhile. And so Spirit is basically asking us to say, look at what happened in the past. Look at the things and people and what they cause energetically. And do you really want them to be messing around in your energy, in your space, in your time field at this time when you're trying to make progress on a certain project? Okay, so the main recommendation here is to stay so clear on the path ahead of you that you want to go on, that you no longer allow anything or anyone to distract from that any longer, even if, again, they come in with some type of little kind of offer or recognition or just little peaceful thing. Ironically, right, it's the Page of Cups is directly underneath the Five of Swords. So the vibe I'm getting is like this is kind of only being offered either almost intentionally to stir the pot with you, or to kind of shake things up, but on a universal level, it's really just to remind you of where the energy doesn't want to go, okay, or what you don't want in your life. Wow. Okay. So this person, okay, and I'm definitely picking up on another person, right? This person who is giving this offer or is kind of appearing in your life or comes into your life to make this little kind of thing, they actually want to progress genuinely into the Queen of Cups energy. They haven't gotten there yet. They haven't evolved to that space yet. They're trying to figure out that path and that journey of how to actually open their heart and to really give something from a different place. So you can see this Queen of Cups, interestingly, is like looking at her cup and she's really contemplating, like, you know, what is this new way of giving? Like, what is this new way of giving from my heart? Like, how do I give from my heart? And she's really, it looks like she's like studying it to make sure that she really gives a solid offer. So whoever this person is, or the situation that's coming back into your life, or coming into your life, I do feel that they have longer term genuine intentions. Okay, that's the important thing here. They may not be showing up as that right now. They may just be stirring the pot right now, and it's definitely, obviously, it wouldn't be time to deal with them. But they are on the path here, or they genuinely do want to evolve, okay, as a human being, and to learn how to give from their heart even more, okay? So on the sides of these, which is kind of, they're showing me it's like supporting cards, we have the Six of Pentacles and the Knight of Wands. All right, so again, I didn't even really see these, but Six of Pentacles here, classically, would represent that equal give and take and coming from a place of abundance, okay? And really, with this card image, you can see this is really I've read a couple ones for myself so far, but this is really the first public reading I've done with this deck. So it's pretty exciting. I get to interpret the images live. I haven't really got a strong feel yet for this deck. I'm kind of exploring it as we go. But you can see this person with the Six of Pentacles is coming from a place of pure abundance and generosity. And so it really makes me feel this person who came in has the spirit or intentions of being generous with his or her time or energy with you. That's the thing to know, is even though they are showing up as a Page of Cups with some little type of offer that really just stirs the pot or brings up the past pains that you may have gone through with them in a situation or a relationship or some type of bond, they want to evolve and to step into, okay, more of a loving and generous, heart-centered, heart-based place. That is the direction that they are headed to energetically, where they want to progress. And it's actually, they know, they have a very solid knowing that this is where they have to progress if they want to really be someone who's in your life. And honestly, what you're doing here by staying true to your path and your commitment is you're helping them. You have to know you're helping them to stay true to their path and their commitment, okay? By you, if you do choose to deny, or it's not even a denial, just like I'm not, going to involve myself, there's some other path I have, you help them stay true to their evolutionary process on their journey, which is very different from yours, right? It's almost like, again, there's the vibe of, and we've talked about this before, but the collective energy has totally switched around, right? I just realized this, and it's been coming to me lately, I just haven't mentioned it, But when I first started doing readings like this, it was the complete opposite. It was like the other side, or the counterpart energy, was the one that was in the Knight of Pentacles, the Three of Wands energy, really getting dedicated to some process of building in their life. And the other side, or this collective, or the feminine collective, quote unquote, was more so, trying to give an offer of love. And it's just kind of switching, where now the feminine's more like, hey, I have this thing I got to be dedicated to, and I have this path I want to go down on, and I don't really have time or space for love. That's kind of switched places, interestingly. That being said, there's still time, and there's still time for both sides, right? Whatever karmic or evolutionary process that's happening in the collective is still going on, and we're just still here on the journey. I think it's so funny that, I can get so dramatic sometimes on Sundays, and I can go, this is it. This is the epic culmination. There's no going back from here. And, to a certain extent, that's true about, there is no going back from where we were. That's for sure. The door's closed, right? We're jumping ship. We're doing all these things. But the journey still continues. It's what I realized after a couple days after my live is like, but the journey still goes on. And I will still, right, without me even intentionally doing it, read for, in love and in life, this collective and the energies that are happening here. So yeah, I like that. Someone said, Julianne said, aha, I get dramatic, but the word is passionate. Yeah, thank you. I love that. We'll use that one, passionate. Satomi Michelle, welcome from Japan. Okay. Oh, and then of course, there's this Knight of Wands energy too. Okay. So this person too, right? There's still that element, and it could be on both sides as well, because I'm getting that this is underneath the Three of Wands too, which was, basically, as you go out and you're committed to this purpose or this thing, it also requires the element of freedom, right? And freedom as a general concept, obviously with me personally, has been very important, but it's been coming up collectively too as something really crucial to enjoy and to cultivate and to be within, to be sitting within. And this Knight of Wands, obviously Knight of Wands classically speaks of freedom. But I do get the energy of this person, right, along with the Page of Cups, okay? Maybe passionately or triumphantly rushing in with this air of, excitement, and also just a little bit of a kind of a sweet givings of a love offer, a tiny little thing, could be even an apology or something like that. But still in that energy of not really being fully in their ability to be from genuinely the heart and to be ready for anything bigger or larger, right? There's still that element of kind of the prince, right? Prince Charming energy a little bit. So not being ready to commit in any way, but maybe having a little bit of that boyish playfulness being presented. Okay. But I do get that it blends into both sides too, because there is an element of the feminine wanting to enjoy her freedom too, and enjoy the benefits of being single and what that comes with, and also not just the benefits of being single, but the benefits of being fully independent and in her quote unquote own energy and skin to be able to come from or to express outwardly into the world. So all of this is really dependent upon that element of independence. Okay. But again, just want to stress, there is definitely the intention here of someone that might be coming into your life that has an air of wanting to be better, wanting to give from the heart, investigating what that may mean to themselves, learning and growing and evolving that way, and wanting to also come from a place of abundance and be generous with their time and energy with you. Beautiful. So So 3 more cards on the right-hand side over here. We have the 9 of Pentacles. We have the 7 of Wands. And we have the Ace of Swords, all on the right-hand side of this little mini ad hoc spread here. Now, the cool thing about this 9 of Pentacles is this is a feminine figure, right? A feminine figure who's dressed up gloriously and enjoying her life, her abundance, her cultivation, and really getting to spend time out in nature in a very free and open way, okay? And I really feel that this is the desire, or where the feminine wants to head at this time, is cultivating her abundance and wealth in a way that will allow her to feel and be super free, joyous, and to spend time when and where she wants in nature, and maybe even doing retreats or traveling or just kind of being at ease. The main goal here really feels like a beingness rather than a doingness. It's a beingness, but it's almost like we have to get into a mode of doing in order to be able to cultivate a state economically, physically, mentally, emotionally, where we can be, right? And truly, truly enjoy what life has to offer, okay? So it does feel like the feminine, the main reason she's going on this journey, it feels like one that's like a prosperity journey, a wealth journey, an abundance journey, right? A purpose journey. There's all sorts of journeys that she knows she's got to go on to cultivate this place of financial freedom, of beingness, of enjoyment of life. And whatever opportunity that you guys, that we, that she, right, has found will lead to that, okay? So if you guys have a new job coming in, or a transition into a new opportunity or a business or something like that, or something on a soul level you're being asked to transition to or to do, just know that thing has a very good chance of being very successful, okay? Especially if it's a pivot away from what you're currently or already doing. And it has the opportunity to lead you to a place of beingness, okay? So that's the very important part for you guys to know. Now, 7 of Wands and the Ace of Swords. It will not be easy. It will not be easy, okay? And I talked about this in the astrology collective reading on Instagram, but there's a lot of karmic conflict and work that's going to come in over the next month or two, leading up to the solar eclipse on June 10th, and then on the June 20th, there's even more stuff. One of those days, Saturn goes into an exact square with Uranus, and the download that came through was just like, there's going to be so much things that make you feel or get out of alignment of your journey that are going to cause you to have to refocus in, or you're going to have to literally battle things and people and circumstances away so you can stay focused on what you want to do and to be. Michelle's back. Hey, Michelle. So it's really important to know that you're going to have to fight and stand your ground and really follow your own path here. Okay, coming into this next segment of time, right? This next 6 months, 3 to 6 months. I keep getting 3 to 6 months. It's going to be a bit of a battle, but that battle will be very, very rewarding, and it will reward you very abundantly in terms of financial freedom. Okay. I would also recommend, if you don't have or know of a solid track to get you to a place where you can be rather than do, find what that may be, or find how your current situation can get you there. Okay, so my recommendation, I was just working with a client too on this, where we just basically went in and said, how and where intuitively from a soul level can your current opportunity get you to a place where you are perfectly in alignment with your freedom, right? Or your ability to be free and live a life that you truly want to live from desire, okay? And we were able to kind of map that out from her current spot or her current job or career that she was about to enter into. So see if you guys can find that way. Find a way. And even if it's just something you don't know how you're going to get there, but you can see at least that there's a ultimate way that you can get from your current spot to be where you want to be, that's perfect. You can just mark that out on a little imaginary or physical roadmap, and as you make your way forward, you'll find your way. Just like in this tarot reading, as we're just doing an ad hoc spread, right? You guys can see we're just doing an ad hoc spread and we're just making our way as we go. I have no idea how we're gonna get to the ultimate goal, but we're just doing it. It's exactly what you guys gotta do, or what we all gotta do in our own lives, okay? What we're being asked to do. Now, the most important thing when it comes to this work and being able to move forward adequately, Ace of Swords, is to speak from a place of absolute truth. To be nothing but truthful and direct to everyone around you, including your family, including significant others, including your job, including everyone, right, that would want to get into your way. Seven of Wands, okay? So again, there may be distractions, people, or situations where you're gonna find yourself in a battle with, that you're gonna be required to speak your truth in order to find your continued freedom. Your voice, your expression, and your voice connected to your soul, that level of expression will help you to find your freedom and way of beingness when it comes to your financial abundance. Okay? Hoping this is making sense. Is this making sense to you guys? Are you guys resonating with this? You guys finding this helpful? I guess we're going to find out the next way of... all right, good. The next way of tarot readings I'm going to be doing. I feel like it's more like, honestly, just feminine empowerment readings. You guys have to tell me the vibe. Like, love is involved, right? But it's kind of just like, how can we find the most empowerment as a collective? And I would dare say that this is a feminine collective, or the feminine collective, or part of the feminine collective. Again, finding empowerment and basically being aware and utilizing the current energies to make the best decisions on our path. I guess that's the direction my tarot readings are going. I'm not really sure. All right, so they want me to draw 3 final outcome okay, they're saying outcome readings, and then I do think I wanted to do advice, and they're saying outcome. All right, 3 final outcome readings, or oh my God, this is crazy. All right, so makes sense though. So 3 final outcome reading or cards here. First card out was the 7 of Swords, okay, the Devil, and the Queen of Wands. All right. So look, straight up, there's someone or something in your life, and you may have an idea of who or what this is, that is just refusing to tell the truth, or is not being in their own truth, or has misrepresented the truth in some way, or has deluded or deceived you, or is trying to delude or deceive you in some way, shape, or form, for whatever reason, okay? It may be because, that they themselves are caught up with negative energies, right, such as the devil. It may be that they're dealing with or caught up with negative entities themselves, or it may just be karmic, right? Like karmic, their karmic lesson, your karmic lesson to be attached to. Honestly, this feels like the person that we've been referring to or talking about, who we've referred to as the twin flame energy. Could be a twin flame energy. Right now, they're feeling and probably acting, okay, I would say very karmically. And by karmically, I mean just helping us to learn more lessons of self-empowerment, right? But absolutely, and this may be something, the reason it's coming up, and it's literally someone here that you are chained to or bonded to through karmic ties. So there are still absolutely, okay, as very apparent in this reading, someone here that's connected to you on an energetic level, and I just don't see them leaving you alone, right? Or coming through with the absolute righteous truth anytime soon, unfortunately. And the reason this is happening is really to test your integrity, Okay, that's the biggest thing. And that's what they wanted me to share, is like Ace of Swords with the Queen of Wands. It's about you really standing strong in your integrity and speaking the truth when and if you need to, particularly if and when this person shows up in your life. And if they don't, that's okay, right? But you kind of know and sense who this might be. And the Queen of Wands is really just, it's like, the Queen of Wands can see right through the devil, right? And she has basically empowered herself to a degree where it's not really going to affect her, okay? And that's kind of where I want you guys to go with this, is get yourself to a level where you're so strong and fired up and assured that whatever this person is doing or being or however they're showing up in their own lives, it's just not able to affect you. Now, you may feel things and you may have things come up around the situation and, you know, anger and bitterness and resentment and all that stuff. Look, just continue to forgive, just continue to love, just continue to let go and release. Understand that this is all part of a karmic growth process. And Five of Swords, remember, was our crowning card. Right, and it's really, just again, they keep emphasizing all the things that come up and pop up right now and in the future here in your life. They're happening so that, look at this person just walking away, just like, I'm not gonna take this anymore. It's not worthy of me. I'm not. It's, you know, it's you know, in a weird way beneath me. But it's that sounds kind of cocky, but it's really what the phrase is saying. It's like, it's just not something that I'm willing or even would make sense for me to deal with right now. You know what I mean? And so it's just affirming. If you've been needing confirmation or affirmation as to whether or not to walk away from a situation or a person, or especially someone here who maybe is not showing up in the most honest or ways of integrity, absolutely right. Just allow that to fuel your fire to walk away and to focus on your path here, okay? So that's the advice here. And again, you may be tested. If you haven't already made this decision, you may be tested as part of your karmic journey and your karmic lesson. Okay. Now I'm going to insist that we do 3 final advice cards because I like those. Six of Swords, by the way, is on the bottom of the deck. Okay, so you can see clearly this is about moving on to better waters. Quite literally, it's so funny, right? Because in the Sunday live reading, we channeled, getting into your lifeboat or getting into your life raft and kind of paddling your way to a new island so you can build a new ship. And this is almost exactly that. So it's so crazy how things get confirmed and the synchronicities and situations. But you can see here, it's moving away from one thing, parking your ship upon another island or a new shore, a new horizon, and starting to build your ship from there, you know? And it's so interesting because I was really questioning my own heart and soul, like, wow, these are really intense messages about the twin flame journey specifically, but it really is very clear that even if it is a twin flame, right, this is just a very karmic situation that it just does not make sense to involve ourselves within due to the path that they've chosen and the place energetically we're both at, okay? So, 3 more final advice cards. All right. Yeah, and, you know, it's just interesting. I got a little bit of resistance when it comes to, you know, the message that came out on Sunday. And I was expecting that because obviously my whole thing from the beginning of channeling on YouTube has been about, you know, hey, it's always destined to be with the twin flame and all these things. And, you know, at this point in time, energetically, like, I can't say that that's the thing that we should rely on or the thing that we should really be connecting with, you know? Nothing's impossible, though, so keep that in mind. All right. So the final advice cards. The Hermit card coming out, right? So very consistent message here. The Hermit card here on the bottom of the deck. Being with yourself, continuing to grow, continuing to strengthen and become more and more strong and assured and independent. And strong in your own heart and soul and skin. Now, 3 final advice cards are Star card, the 3 of Swords, and the King of Pentacles. All right. So one, King of Pentacles here, right? With the Nine of Pentacles over here, and the Queen of Wands energy. But the King of Pentacles really, it's about the person you become in the creation of your own empire and the creation of your own ship, and the person you become ultimately at the end of the journey that is able to be sustained by his or her own work and abundance and accomplishments, and someone who can be very much a confident provider. So you can see this King of Pentacles, right? On the card, his focus is just looking down at that pentacle. And with the other hand, it's kind of a rod of power. And so it just associates right there energetically the pentacle with power. So you have to know that whatever your beliefs are on money, okay, money does represent some form of power, of freedom, of the ability to, again, be more free, expressive, and influential, ideally, obviously, in a positive way, with yourself, your energy, and your life. So it's really the transformation of ourselves in becoming someone who is able to be more impactful, more powerful, more influential in a positive way because of financial abundance specifically. Okay? So there's the advice there, is to stay focused on this, knowing that the more you're able to cultivate financial wealth in your own life, the more impactful you'll be and the more in alignment with your soul mission that you will also be. And I have a very strong feeling, if you've been resonating with me and this collective for a long time and you've been following along with the story here, it's definitely been a story, right? We are meant for abundance. We are meant for freedom. And we're meant for living life in a whole new way, right? It's really no coincidence that you guys, a lot of the things, right, you guys have said that you resonated with and you've been on, I really, really do feel. And once we reach that, which is this particular part of the journey, things will be really different, right? We'll have the freedom to make whatever choices we need to make to be who we want to be, and ultimately to engage with the love that we want to engage with, right? Now, hopefully by that time, if it is something that's meant to be, our counterpart can be ready as well and can have fully evolved in his or her heart space and their generosity and their Queen of Cupsness. But we'll have to see. And it's nothing that we can, again, pin our hopes on or guarantee or anything like that. But I know, just to say, like, those of you guys wondering, like, of course it's a possibility and nothing's impossible. But again, it's definitely not something that's congruent, right, or aligned at this particular time. Again, or we'll get a dope-ass soulmate that star seedling Tay. So there's that possibility as well. And likely we'll have the choice between that. Okay? All right. And then star card and the Three of Swords. Okay. So look, along the way too, there will be intermittent streaks of deep sadness, of heartbreak, just feelings of betrayal and or abandonment, or just feeling lonely. That's the vibe I'm getting. Like the feeling of loneliness, or the feeling that we're all on our own, that we have no one around to be in love with us or to comfort us or to be by our side. And really what I'm getting with this is we're learning to operate in life with, integrating with, and because of these intense pains that we're going through. And the star card is really, it's the healing of these pains as we progress and as we move forward, and trusting also that it's a part of our process as well. Okay, and you can also see the sun is shining here. This person, I think it's a woman, yeah, it's a woman, gathering and pouring energy on the earth here, right? So healing and restoring herself very much so after really intense feelings of loss, betrayal, okay, hurt, all these things. So again, where that go, where it leads, we shall see. But the whole point here is it's okay. It's okay, and it's normal, and expect even to have these feelings come up and be a part of your journey, and to still be able to move forward with them, but also taking the time, and you will have the time available and space to give yourself some healing, right? Give yourself some restoration along the way, okay? So balance also the saying of working forward progress, but also taking the time to restore yourself when necessary along the way to keep you sustained, okay? And last thing I'll share is anytime you feel, these feelings coming up, or you feel lost or hopeless, or even a desire to be with this person, or to go back to something that was, and not that there's a desire there, but if that is something that comes up, or something that kind of infiltrates your space or your energy, which it might, it's just reminding yourself of what was. And with this Five of Swords here, right? What was that you don't find is appealing, or something you'd ever even dare to entertain. And whether or not this person, that might show up here, has shifted into someone that you would consider worthy, or able to engage in a very real, loving, and solid partnership with you at this moment in time. Okay? Because that is what's really important here, is knowing that no matter what, even if there's intense feelings of love between you and a person, until that can be substantiated into a solid, practical, and committed partnership where there is generosity and equal give and take on both sides from the heart, right? King of Cups and Queen of Cups energy, then it is no longer in vibration, or no longer energetically compatible with you, and particularly with where you're going and who you're becoming. Okay? Yeah, definitely. Star Seed says we're on completely different wavelengths. It won't work. And that's how it's meant to be, right? For how long? Who knows, right? Who knows? So that's what I have for you guys. Let me see. I think we already said, the Hermit here on the bottom of the deck. We have the Ten of Wands here as well, the Seven of Cups here, and the Four of Wands here. Okay, all underneath the deck. So I'll be honest with you guys too in this. There's one last thing I'll share with those bottom cards that might be coming up, or will come up at some point, or kind of underneath the surface, is that likely the best thing for you right now, honestly, is to be with yourself. There might be the temptation to, again, explore or be with different people, or even have multiple options of people, or to engage with others in that way. And the thing to note about that is, because the other cards we got is the Seven of Cups, we got the Four of Wands, and we got the Ten of Wands. So the thing to note about that is, interestingly, what they're sharing, this connection, specifically this connection that's here, that's present, that's always been present in our readings here on TikTok. Okay, the one I'm talking about. There will still continue to be a bit of a heaviness or a burden, Ten of Wands, within that journey. Fortunately or unfortunately, right? Like, it's not necessarily going anywhere, like it can't go anywhere. Even as much as we would want to and will be able to kind of disconnect from it and focus on ourselves and our journey. Ten of Wands shows me with the Seven of Cups here, and it might be because you're like, how can I not fully let this down, or how can I not fully let go of this, and why does it keep still staying in my energy with me? It's just confusing. And so again, it might prompt you to want to go out and date other people, or look at multiple options, and that may be all good, but ultimately at the end of the day, there is one person whether it's this person or a divine soulmate, right? Whoever it is, that is meant for you to be in a home, destined, with a family, and who's able to support you in a very loving way as you do your soul purpose, while they do their soul purpose alongside you and potentially with you. Like that for sure is in the works. It's destined. So it's almost like, yes, it's a bit of a heavy burden to carry that energetically that we're being asked to carry, but it's also part of the growth process, and it's part of what's shaping and melding the person we're becoming through the journey of it. So I just want to let you know that look, there's going to be this new path, this new progression, but the weight of the connection itself isn't necessarily going anywhere. And so at some point it might be helpful to just kind of accept and to surrender to that, especially if you've tried and everything in a nutshell to release it, to cut cords, to disconnect, right? And still it's there, still it's right, a presence in some way, shape, or form. It might just be something that you got to live with for the time being. Unfortunately, in a loving way. So that's kind of the truth that I've felt and come into, even though the connection itself is nowhere near anything that would make sense to engage with at this time. As someone said, just completely different wavelengths, right? Very much, again, we had this come out in the, someone said, good Lord, are you speaking to me directly? Yeah, look, it's kind of crazy. I'm speaking to the collective. I'm speaking to the energy, right? It's like we're all going through such a similar situation. It's crazy. It's mind-blowing even to me as I speak it. What was I saying? Oh, but like we had this come out in a Sunday reading of like, look, I mean, you chose the positive path and your counterpart, unfortunately, is in the midst of the negative path. And the path to self, the path of ego, the path of illusion. Like, literally, their cards here were the devil and the Seven of Swords. You know what I mean? So they're just in that. They're just in that kind of path to self, illusion, service to self, dark energy, Seven of Swords, where there's just deceit and deception and trying to get away with stuff. And it's just not on the right wavelength with where you're going, where the feminine has chosen to go. And even in the Law of One, Aaron Abke on YouTube, and he's a big proponent of the Law of One. He's really, really smart with this stuff. But the Law of One stuff too, channels like, on a certain point in the journey of the path of positive polarity and service to others and the path of negative polarity, service to self, it just becomes a point where the progression goes to a certain point where it's just no longer compatible. Like there's just no kind of electromagnetic attraction. And that happens because of positive polarization, and it's a good thing. It's a sad thing, but it's a good thing. So if you are no longer feeling this really strong, like, draw or connection with this person, it's a good thing. It's because you have shifted or raised your frequency to a level where it's no longer able to do that, So it's a good thing. It can be sad, but ultimately a good thing. Okay. Oh, Amber Praza, could you do a recap for those who just got here? I could do a little bit of a recap if you guys want a recap. How many guys need a recap? Let me know in the chat here. There's kind of a lot to go. It's kind of a lot. I don't want to repeat the whole thing for those of you guys who just saw the whole thing. Aaron says, do you identify with the feminine? Yes, I do. Now, what's interesting is, I always repeat this, but I don't repeat it so you guys, think of me in any different way, but I'm a straight male, heterosexual male who identifies with the feminine part of the collective. So the energy I channel for and with, and my personal love and relationship life and situation, right? I tend to have more of that feminine energy, that feminine awareness. And my path has actually been balancing out in a lot of ways more of my masculine with the feminine. And that's really been part of my process in creating, this business and this collective and all that stuff. But in a love situation, right, that's that seems to be what I was meant for. And what's interesting is I talked about this a little while ago, but looking at my chart, I have my North Node. Okay, get this. My North Node in Capricorn in the 3rd house conjunct Pallas. And Pallas is the asteroid related to the goddess, feminine warrior, Athena. And so I realized, I'm meant to speak or be on behalf or lead on behalf through speaking, right? 3rd house, communication, through digital media, also 3rd house, for the badass feminine warrior collective, right? So just very interesting. My chart is all set up like that. So yes, hope that answers your question.